At her place in the reporter's pen, filled with its desks, the chatter of voices on the phone, and typewriters clacking, Claire O'Connor smoothed her hair before setting her new cloche cap atop her head.
"I'd send Peterson along with you, but he's doing the photos for this morning's bank robbery at National with Hamilton, and it's clear across town,"
said her boss, Harry Dudley, as he walked up to stand beside her desk. "I'll be fine, Mr. Dudley," she told him, although she'd never been to this part of town. It wasn't a safe area for a young, unaccompanied woman to wander about alone, and she worried Mr. Dudley could hear the knock of her knees under the wool skirt. Harry Dudley pulled the cigar from his mouth and gave her a thorough look over.
"It's daylight, and not much goes on over there in the afternoon. You should be fine. Get the 5 W's and get back as soon as you can."
It was the standard reporter instruction. Who, what, when, where, why, and how, that Claire knew well enough. "Yes, sir, Mr. Dudley," she told him, flashing her most confident smile. With only a tiny quaver of her hand, she picked up her notebook and pencil and made her way out. This could be the first of more newsworthy stories, and the prospect thrilled her. Of course, it depended on whether the editors liked what she wrote or not. On the way to the Tindari, Claire tried to review her notes about the new restaurant and the questions she had penciled in the notebook one last time, but her mind wandered. She was grateful Mr. Dudley had hired her, but she had longed, had begged really, for more newsworthy stories. More like covering the armed robbery that had taken place just this morning at National Bank. Sam Hamilton and Mark Peterson had been assigned to that story. She, on the other hand, had been covering young ladies' coming-out dances and society women's causes. This was something slightly more interesting, thankfully, the opening of a grand new restaurant. At least it wasn't writing up birth notices and obituaries. For that, she could thank the fact that Mr. Dudley had been high school pals with her dad, Tag O'Connor. "We're here, Miss O'Connor," said Clyde, the old Negro driver the newspaper hired to shepherd around reporters to various locations. "Thank you, Clyde," she told him, and stepped out of the car. It was early December, and she tightened her coat against the icy wind. "Come back by to pick me up in, say, 45 minutes. "Will do, miss," he said, touching the brim of his hat. The maitre d' led Claire past unoccupied tables, set with white tablecloths and place settings ready for the dinner crowd to arrive, to a man sitting alone at a table. Even in the low lighting, she could see he was handsome, with black hair, warm brown skin, strong Sicilian features, and sensual lips. Her heart did a flip when her gaze alighted on those lips. He looked a few years older than her 20, but still, he seemed too young to be a proprietor of a business such as this. Mentally, she added a question of how he came to buy such an establishment to her list of questions. When he stood to greet Claire, a strange expression darted over his face. Was he one of those traditional men who believed a woman's work only involved catering to a husband and the care of children? She had spoken to him on the phone, so why the surprise?